An Atlanta-based grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump on state charges stemming from his efforts to overturn Joe Biden's victory over him in the November 2020 election in Georgia. This is historic. This is the fourth time Donald Trump has been indicted.
Donald Trump has been indicted yet again. It was almost as if it was predictable that the last business day before this indictment, Joe Biden had some pretty bad news come before him. I know a lot of you guys think the special counsel thing is a fraud and all that other stuff. That's fine. But here is the response. Another indictment of Donald J. Trump. And this time, 18 other people get in there as well. Am I one of them? I don't know. We'll find out here soon enough. As of right now, that is not the case. The media, of course, wants to remind you this is unprecedented. This is shocking. We've never seen such a thing. The walls are closing in and all of that fun stuff. Jake Tapper, of course, on the case. Caitlin Collins there as well. They're the best and brightest there on CNN. Let's see what they think.
Let me bring in Caitlin Collins right now. Caitlin, I'm not sure if you have the indictment unsealed. Is Caitlin, is Caitlin there? And tell us what is in this indictment. Is it just of Donald Trump, or are there other individuals?
It's of other individuals. Obviously,
Obviously is correct, because they knew about this well ahead of time, because before the vote even took place, they had it up on the court's website. Of course, by accident. It was just a fraudulent thing. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Don't worry about any of that. All above board here, folks. All above board.
The 98-page indictment is going to take us a minute to read through. But, Jake, one of the most important parts, of course, is not just Trump's name is on this, but it's the others that are on this. And so we've got...
Before they start rattling off names, we got to read it. They all knew it. It was up earlier. You don't think they all looked at it? I mean, what are we talking about? We got to read this thing and find out. Why are they playing the charade? Why? Why even do this? The whole thing is theater. This is why nobody trusts them. Look at this stuff. Oh, we'll have to read the time. You've already seen it. It's been up for hours. We've all seen it.
Donald John Trump, Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, Mark Meadows is on here, Jake. Ken Cheeseborough, that's another unindicted co-conspirator in the previous indictment. Jeffrey Clark, that's the former Justice Department official that wanted to be named the acting attorney general, nearly did. Jenna Ellis, the Trump attorney. Ray Smith, another attorney. Robert Cheeley, Mike Roman, that's the Trump campaign official who was handling fake electors in that time period, Jake, from the election to through December. He's someone who's also been part of the, he had met with investigators in Jack Smith's investigation. His name is on here. And David James Schaefer, that I believe is the top former Republican official. He was in a campaign fundraising role that is also part of this and was someone who was part of that fake elector scheme involved.
Scheme. I like the word scheme here. It implies that what's going on here is totally unheard of. People challenging an election. Just no one's ever done such a thing before. And now we're pretending it is something that is just unheard of. And no one ever raised money off of that before. Except all the times they absolutely did do those things, right? Other than that, no one's ever done it before. No one's ever said an election was rigged. No one's done any of that stuff. So it is, of course, an outrage. Here are some of the things in this count to show you how ridiculous it is. First off, let me be clear. They're going after attorneys and fundraisers and Republican operatives, so people will be afraid to do those things. That's what this is about. This, again, is a farce, but there's no penalty to bring these charges and lose in court. None. Not for the person bringing them. She'll be a hero. If she succeeds, she'll be a superhero. If she fails, she'll be a victim. It's a win-win for her. And let's take a look at what some of this stuff is actually about. One of the charges here is telling people to watch OAN. OANN? Yeah, the news network. Telling people to watch Newsmax. Also, potential criminal count. Telling people to watch Right Side Broadcasting Network. Now, maybe that should be a crime, but I do not think that it is. But these are counts they're charging people with. Oh, does it get even more ridiculous? Believe it or not, it does. Reserving a room in the Capitol. That, my friends, that also is a criminal act. To suggest that reserving the room, yep, you're going to get charged for that. Asking for phone numbers. Yes, that's right. Mark Meadows asked for the phone numbers of U.S. representatives. That's a crime. that's a crime. And boy, oh boy, are they going to prosecute it. The Georgia indictment also says that advocating for signature verification is a conspiratorial act. And now across the country, signature verification rules have been tightened, as they should, and they should be tightened even further to make sure that we are actually, having the people show up who are there. Otherwise, why are we having them sign? Why are we checking IDs if we're not going to check signatures as well? The whole thing, oh my God, this is so ridiculous, and I think everybody knows it. Telling the public to call lawmakers, yep, that is a criminal act. Rudy Giuliani is going down for that. He retweeted an unindicted co-conspirator who said, contact your legislators. You're going to jail, baby. I'm going to jail. Maybe I am on this. And then, of course, there's this part of the story. And I think this part of the story is very worth telling. Earlier today, there was a fictitious, as they called it, document posted to the Fulton County website. They called it fictitious, and then it turned out to actually be real before the grand jury even deliberated. And it was discussed on Fox News and everywhere else. They already had this document up there. There are some shenanigans afoot, and do not think that this will not come into play here. There will probably be a mistrial, or at least an attempt to get one. But if the judges are not above board, which I'm not saying they're not, because that could be another indictment coming your way, just know there's going to be a lot of questions about what's going on here. The bloodlust to get Trump is still there. Everybody knows that. And now the question is, are we willing to throw the book at someone just because we don't like them politically? I think the answer right now is they're at least going to try.